Hey, bud, let's party.
Hello there!
Late in the week is back. We took last week off. A lot going on. Still a lot going on. In the world of movies now starting to show up to the conversation. But yeah, still crazy out there in the world. Hope everybody is staying safe during this pandemic. And justice hopefully being served across the country. Hopefully. But we've got movies to talk about. We've got gaming consoles being revealed. We have those escapisms that we enjoy. And actually, you guys come to us to talk about, and we're going to do that today.
Yes. It's been so...
It's been a while. It's been a while. I set up like 5 pins for her to try and knock down, and she didn't know which one to knock down.
I did not. But first up on the docket, we're going to go with, kind of fresh in our mind, the PlayStation 5 coming out this winter.
Is it this winter already? It's this year? That's exciting. I had no idea, honestly, when the release was. But yeah, they came out, they showed us the PlayStation 5, what we're going to be getting. I did see a side-by-side comparison. And it looks like this is the biggest one out of all of them, and it's definitely the most flashiest. I'm more of a black console type guy. Everything around us is pretty much black furniture, so it blends in nicely. So you got that big white, which is what the PlayStation or what the Xbox typically did. But yeah, they're kind of trading it up now, and PlayStation 5 is coming out. But that definitely led to quite a few memes across the interwebs for the PlayStation 5 too.
My personal favorite is the Sauron Mordor one. I do like that one because it made me chuckle a little bit when we saw that one.
Yeah, so the memes, of course, everybody's showing up to give their efforts. There it is. Come on, with the eye and everything, it's perfect. But my favorite is actually hold on, I'll pull it up right here for you guys to see. Oh no! It's because I'm not using a mouse. I'm trying to not let the clicking show up in the audio. But you know what? Screw it. You guys are all going to be getting clicks. We're throwing that one away. We're throwing that one away. And we're bringing up... Here it is. Just wait for it. It's like a touch of God. Wait. Two-Face. Batman Forever. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So, yeah. The Nightman Cometh. We almost drove to LA to see this, but it ended up selling out so super quick back when it first came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is quite a resemblance there when it comes to the controller and Dennis. And then I did see this one with the Pope and the hat. And then, of course, the big thing to come out of the PlayStation 5 release was Miles Morales. Now, this image popped up online.
Yeah, I saw it from Boss Logic.
Sure.
He posted it, so maybe he's the one that designed, the look of it. But I'm hoping that maybe they see this and they're like, okay, we should come out with this type customized one for PlayStation 5. Because this is the one that I would buy.
Right.
Because I love the color scheme. I love the red and black. I just love it. It's great.
And to pair it up with Miles Morales, the Spider-Man Miles Morales game that was also announced, which is an individual standalone game in case all y'all in the comment section of our reaction to the launch trailer. Because there was confusion.
Yeah, to be fair, though, when we did do the reaction to it is because we saw that it was going to be an expansion, and then after we did the reaction and we looked it up, everyone was like, no, it's a full game. They backtracked it and said it's a full game.
But even then, at first, they were like, it is more so like an interlude, which, it's a bridging the gap, but it is a full game. But then other people are like, well, it's not as full of a game as the Spider-Man 2 game that's coming. It's like, yeah, that's what we meant. It's the next step to the next step, but it's Miles Morales centric, which is awesome.
Right, it's like when they did Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Of course, yeah. They give you something to tide you over, but it's in the world of Spider-Man that we already know, and we're going a different way with it, which is Miles Morales, which I'm really excited for. And if you want to hear all those thoughts, check out the reaction, because we do talk about, into the Spider-Verse aspects that we would love to see in that game. But something else that ended up getting leaked by Xbox, but it was also something that came out before, we believe, with PlayStation, which was the Code Maverick for a Star Wars game that's coming, Squadron. So it did leak on Xbox to where they were selling like pre-orders, but it took you to a broken link. And then shortly after, of course, EA came out and said, yeah, Monday, 2 days from now, we are getting a reveal trailer, something to wet a whistle when it comes to going back to the aerial dogfighting that made Star Wars video gaming great. Rogue Squadron! What was it? TIE Fighter versus X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, the Dark Forces era, Kyle Katarn, all the good stuff. But this is what I'm looking for, but I am apprehensive if it comes to just multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge multiplayer player myself. I'm more of a campaign, one-player type person, like Tomb Raider, Spider-Man, all of those. Even with the Call of Duty games, I would play... Okay, to be fair, the only reason I would play multiplayer with that one is because of the zombies. That's the only multiplayer that I will play.
But it was only up to 4 people, right. So it never felt.
It never really was multiplayer in the sense, but I don't really care to play Fortnite. That kind of multiplayer is just meh.
It's repetitive for us, and granted, I'm very similar when it comes to Call of Duty and stuff. It's like if I sit down, turn it on, and start playing. Next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock at night. I've been playing the whole time. I made a whole bunch of new friends. We say we're going to meet up, but I never show up because you don't sit me and plant me in front of the screen to get me invested enough to be able to play. Now, story-wise, if there is a story, if there are some campaigns, like I always loved in Rogue Squadron, going on bombing runs in Y-Wings with Wedge shouting in your ear, that's cool. That's a world that I want to get into if you give me a overarching story, and I feel like they might. I feel like they learned their lesson, and they're going to give us a little bit more meat on their bones, and they started it with Battlefront 2, where they were starting to initiate a little bit more story for it. And then, of course, we just got the Fallen Order, which is going to continue on in the legacy of story-driven video gaming. So yeah, why not with Squadrons? Let's go ahead and add a little bit more to the entree and give us some good storylines, which I think that they won't disappoint us and they'll end up giving it to us.
Yeah.
Battlefront was fun for a little while, and I kind of get that itch to go back and play. But one of the games, I don't even remember what it was, but it was, you had to go and it was capture the flag, but with gonk droids, and eventually nobody was showing up, and that could have been the first Battlefront, but nobody was showing up to the games. It's but that's the one I really like because it's smaller and I can actually have a goal to do stuff, and nobody was there anymore after a while, to where I would wait and just dip out because people weren't showing up to the games. But I mean, you guys, you're excited for everything that's coming out. So let's go ahead and read some of the comments that you guys have dropped thus far. Hey guys, from Brandon Buckingham, Gallegos, it's Schmodown competitor now. I love it. Doing a lot more with Video Chronic. Love the intro. Yeah, you guys like that? I'm trying to change it up every time until I run out. Then I'm just going to start reusing them over again.
Yeah.
But finding the high quality versions of anything in reference to Party is gonna it's a short list that I'm probably going to run out of very quickly.
Then we got Malcolm over here saying, the memes are amazing around the PS5. I love the Kaiba meme they did. I'm not familiar, Malcolm. A little bit more to that. I'm sure other people will let me know. How do you not know? We'll find out, though. Laugh my ass off. My favorite is the one where the Xbox Series X is being used as a table stand. I did see that one where it was used as a table.
Yeah, Insomniac said it's comparable to the Lost Legacy Uncharted game. Absolutely. It makes sense. Jinx, so you guys said it at the same time. Only 3 games made me addicted to the online Black Ops, the zombie mode. Friday the 13th, did want to play it, but I heard there wasn't much to it. Same with Predator. and then send me your PSN. We'll play some Battlefront. Again, man, you really got to twist my arm to get me to even play when it comes to the multiplayer. So
yeah, I tried it a couple times and I'm like, meh.
That's the trouble I end up having, man, when it comes to those games. I have some friends that want to play online, but we are going to be doing online gaming 100%. We are going to be doing Twitch streaming for the Miles Morales Spider-Man game when that comes out, as soon as we get our hands on a PlayStation 5.
And Matt G dropping the $1.49 in the super chat.
And there's a pie
Thank
there.
you.
So thanks, Matt G. Every little bit goes a long way, because all this equipment that we got to do these streams came straight from our Patreon, straight from your guys' super chats now, and of course the Streamlabs donations, which we also utilize. The link is down in the description of this video. Not really sure how those work yet, but I'm figuring we'll figure it out very shortly. But moving on to the next topic. So, what was it? A petition? People have put it out there. It is a movement that is starting to generate a little bit of a following.
Yes.
And this one I'm at a cross with, but I honestly see it more so on the side of that I agree. When it comes to Splash Mountain, the petition to retheme it with something a little bit more popular, topical, and not so controversial when it comes to the story that the Brer Rabbit and all them are from. The characters, Brer Fox, Brer Bear, are from, pulling it into Splash Mountain.
Because they come from a very
outdated
racial movie, Song of the South, that even Disney is trying to hide from. So.
Sure. I mean, if you look at it compared to like Gone with the Wind, it really does fit around that time. So I completely understand. But guess what? Disney had sense way earlier in life when it came to, certain things not actually fitting anymore when it comes to society. Now, for me, when it comes down to Splash Mountain is a lot of fun. I really, really do enjoy the ride because it is a log drop, essentially. I mean, the aesthetics to it, everything about it was well constructed. It fit together, and you dressed up that log drop traditional ride that really didn't have much to it, but you dress it up to where you made it fun, you made it cartoony.
Yeah, and then if you guys want to see a terrible video, back in our early days of Late to the Party, it's still on our channel. Can still people view it?
It is, no joke. I was going to put it here so we could show it.
So people can view it.
It's horrible.
We are on Splash Mountain, so if you find it in our on our channel, it's there.
I was gonna put it in.
Certain things that happen, certain things that are funny when we're on Splash Mountain, but yeah, it's just that's what it reminds me of, though.
It's a fun time, but at the same time, it has no connection really anymore when it comes to characters and the legacy that is Disney. I mean, Disney is progressive. Disney does put in what is more hip and now. Is it a good thing? Not all the time. You end up replacing the alien encounter with Stitch. I get it, but Stitch deserved better. And for Splash Mountain, I feel like there is a way that they can go ahead and bring something to that ride we love, the ride that we adore because of the ride for the most part. Now, it's not so much the movie. It's not like everyone is singing the praises of the movie and that's why we go and ride the ride. The ride is what created those characters and put them into the forefront of your thought when you think of Disneyland, or at least when it comes to Splash Mountain.
Right.
But
see, so what I would say, like, I'm totally fine for them, retheming if they want to do it. Like, I saw concept art that people have created for Princess and the Frog.
Right.
And I think that the way that they did it was awesome.
Sure.
Good. I also think that these characters that are from something that is very, outdated, that you can take these characters and make them good. You know what I mean? Like, move them away, like separate those characters from the art that it was from. And I think that's why a lot of people are upset, because it's like, well, these characters are, yes, they are from that movie, but they're the characters themselves. Like, nothing in the ride itself really shows anything that feels like it's really, because I feel like there's a lot of kids out there that have no idea that this is part of that movie.
Of course. No, it's not even just kids, too. There's people my age that probably don't even remember it.
True.
Because it was very shortly lived. I remember it, and the reason I remember it is because of the music. It's because of Zippity Doo Dah. Zippity Doo Dah is ingrained very much in Disney, and it's ingrained in my childhood, as well as many other people around my age, but mostly because of the Disney sing-along songs. It's such a good video, right? They're going on the rides, and then after Splash Mountain, they go to Star Tours. I love it. You see the dude with like the big old hair in the front row bouncing around.
Where's Roger?
Where's Roger? Here's a ride. That's just my speed.
And he's on Zootopia. He's on Autotopia.
Yeah, just riding the ride. But the Zippity Doo Dah is I love that song. It's a great song, and for it to be there at the very end after the drop and all the characters are singing it, it's great. It really is a wonderful moment. I'm so glad we had it, but at the same time, I just feel like racism, or at least something that isn't accepted in society now, put that aside. The characters have no connection in the lineage that is Disney characters that you've pushed to the forefront. Even Roger Rabbit, who we were just referencing and quoting, has no connection, and the day Roger Rabbit leaves Toontown and they replace it with something else, I understand.
Yeah.
I get it. We had Roger. Roger was showing up in little shorts before Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and a bunch of other movies. I love Roger to death. Still have my Roger from the day that I got him way back when. I cried when he's in the alley and he's crying over Jessica. And it's I understand he's not relevant anymore when it comes to characters. So that's what you do, is you clear the way, you clear the path for the new characters that need time to shine, or, you know, be something that is popular. Look at Frozen. You can say what you want about Frozen, but Frozen was a new age oddity of success when it came to everybody that went out and watched that movie in droves. The music just hit it. It was kind of back to that old school Disney, oh damn, we are conquering all the mediums of technology with Frozen. But Frozen has like no real imprint when it comes to the park.
Right.
That's going to change. They'll eventually bring Frozen out to where it's probably going to get its own section. Look at Star Wars, man. Look what they did to Star Wars, because they knew what they had when it came to that property. And the one that I think is probably safe, I don't know how long it will be safe, is Fantasyland when it comes to all those characters. But that's because they're deep-seated, ingrained in the creation and the foundation of Disney.
It's that nostalgia of that Disney,
right.
I mean, even to this day, you know, you go to Disneyland and one of the first rides that you actually have to like go, or else you're waiting forever, is Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Like Peter Pan always has a long line every time we go. So.
And it's a fun ride. It's a great ride. I'm glad they keep putting love into the revision of that ride itself. I think it's cooler in other Disney parks. But the one that's there, you have to ride it. You have to ride it at least once. Typically, we save it till very last, because it's like, yeah, we love Peter Pan, but it's so much easier to jump on all the other rides, and then we'll get it when we can get it, versus sitting there forever to ride Peter Pan. But they're going to end up more than likely taking out Splash Mountain. I mean, Splash Mountain, wasn't like the whole idea for Splash Mountain was supposed to be like connected to Indiana Jones? Like, wasn't that a whole thing where it was going to be much bigger than it was at the park, but it ended up just becoming the Indiana Jones ride? I'm going to have to go check out Defunctland. I'm sure they have a whole thing about it. But, you know, there is more to it, and I feel like when they created Splash Mountain, they were like, what do we got that we can put in here to make it seem like it will fit? Okay, there's a rabbit, there's a fox, there's a bear, and a bunch of animals. We'll use that. And that's what they ended up doing, and it's, you know, it was a placeholder for whatever is going to come down the future eventually. So, but granted, yes, it has those other connotations to it, to even more of a reason why it's time to say El Wiedersehen to, I almost said Sleepy Hollow, Splash Mountain. But yeah, no.
Yeah, they should just make it a Sleepy Hollow.
Could you imagine?
Splash Mountain.
Could you? Why not? They got Ichabod Crane. They made that cartoon.
That's
it was
true.
So good. I remember watching that. It was so freaky as a kid. And I really, really did enjoy those old school cartoons. And I do enjoy, seeing Zippity Doo Dah and Brer Rabbit and all them. And you could even see like portions of Song of the South on some of the sing-along songs, because they pulled the Zippity Doo Dah portion and put it into one of their compilations of sing-along songs, because we watched all of those when we were younger. So
I wonder what it's like at night.
Yeah, we totally want to do like a recreation of a lot of those songs, especially the Disneyland Fun sing-along songs. We want to like recreate them.
Middle of Main Street, USA.
It's deep-seated in ours. I know there's quite a few of us that really enjoyed those tapes, but something else we really do enjoy, if you follow... Actually, before I move on, before I segue, let's catch up with what you guys have been saying. I don't want to burn through all these topics so quick.
Burn through all the topics.
They put Kaiba's head from Yu-Gi-Oh! There's why I have no clue.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sure, I sold the toys. Granted, I sold the toys when I worked at Target. So I was a little bit past that when they came out. I agree with you guys, actually. Usually I'm about keep the original visions, but this one I do take an exception to, from Gallegos. They still shouldn't have replaced Tower of Terror with Guardians. I would agree.
I get it. I get what people are saying about that, too. I know Hollywood Tower of Terror there, it was a great ride.
Sure.
But... I mean, I'm okay with it being Guardians, too.
No, the reason I'm okay with it being Guardians is because it wasn't the full vision that should have been for Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
The Tower of Terror that should exist is the one that's in Florida and at Hollywood Studios. That is the Tower of Terror that they should have brought, but they gave us the light version. When they don't want to give you a full IMAX, so they give you a LIMAX, which is a smaller version, but still call it IMAX. That's what they did. They did the scaled-down version, gave it to us, and said, here you go, here's your ride. So for that, okay, I'm all right with them swapping it out with something else, because guess what? It works. It wasn't like Monsters, Inc. ride, where it was that Hollywood, whatever, crappy ride that they did, Drew Carey, a bunch of weird celebrities. They got rid of that one, and they ended up making it Monsters, Inc., but it stands alone as Monsters, Inc. Here, it's like, no, we got Guardians of the Galaxy, then you're going to get the Avengers ride, the Spider-Man ride, the whole Avengers MC universe that they're putting in there, where Bugs Land was.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's legit, right? Like, it makes sense, and it just kind of fits to where I'm okay with them getting rid of it, because it's not as, complete, in my opinion. It wasn't a complete ride anyway, so switching it over to Guardians of the Galaxy was fine. We haven't ridden it since it became Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we
Almost
have been to California, in that area, but we just haven't gone to Disneyland. And
it wasn't worth it
now,
to pay for the tickets.
We can't go to Disneyland right now, and we're going to wait.
Right.
However, we are planning a Disney World trip for next
year.
Fall.
Yeah, well, depending on how everything goes.
Hopefully
but that's
we'll
what
be
we're
able
shooting
to
for.
go.
And then Malcolm said, what would you replace the characters of Splash Mountain with? Vanessa went, obviously, with
and I think
and the
the reason
Frog.
that it would be perfect for Princess and the Frog, too, is one, because it's New Orleans, and it's right in the area where New Orleans Square is, because technically Splash Mountain is supposed to be Critter Country.
Right.
But, like, they can extend, New Orleans Square because it's right next to the Haunted Mansion.
It does, and you have
Splash Mountain could be.
You do have the characters
Princess
show
and the
up
Frog.
around that area, too, so it kind of makes sense. And it interweaves itself with Haunted Mansion at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, Malcolm, Moana. Yeah, I could see Moana going in there too, absolutely. But it would feel more like a standalone aspect if they were going to connect it to something else.
Yeah, it's so weird because you have Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, and then you got the Winnie Pooh ride.
Yeah, and man,
it used to be Country Bears.
Sure, yeah, Country Bears Jamboree, and I remember going to that when I was a kid. I got to see it. It reminded me of the scene, who's your favorite possum? Not Lester. Lester from, the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
It's Lester, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, you guys are awesome. Love the reactions from Accuracy. Thank you. Wellbone B. Nice Roger Rabbit impression. Thanks. Haha. Fire impression. Thanks. I've been doing it my whole life. Vanessa sitting there doing a great Jessica Rabbit impression. she could be a good Jessica Rabbit. Come on, just throw the hair one there, smoke a whole bunch of cigarettes, and you got that raspy Kathleen Turner voice. Why not? You can pull it off. No. Just replace them with Tom Hanks.
I'm not bad.
I'm just drawn that way. I should have let her do it. I had to jump in there. Please. You can still call it Splash Mountain. I love that. I would love that, but you can't show her butt. You got to have the digital covering of her hair covering her butt. Sorry, guys. It's 11:20 UK. I've had way too much to drink. All right, well,
good.
Take that drink and go to bed, and we'll see you in the morning. I agree with Glenn. And wow. Okay, he liked the impression. So, if you guys have been watching our channel recently, and again, subscribe, because only 10% of everyone who watches our channel are subscribed, which tells us there's a lot more of getting to be got. So let's get those numbers up there. Let's get up to our friends, Mackie Fam, who passed their 100,000, which I'm so excited for them. Well deserved. But let's get those subscribe numbers up. But if you've been watching us for the past, 10 weeks? Shoot, dang, already. What We Do in the Shadows is one of our favorite series, and we do reactions to them, full episode reactions on our Patreon. Mm-hmm. But something that does kind of plague TV shows, and it's scary when it happens, is the creators leaving the writers' rooms of their shows. If Dan Harmon left, it was very, very detrimental to the show, and him coming back didn't really save it. But then again, we lost Donald Glover. But we've got Jemaine Clement is going to be leaving the writer's room in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes. Now, there's two different ways that you can go with this. One, you can think, well, maybe he's just leaving because he knows that What We Do in the Shadows is now in good hands. He doesn't really need to be there anymore.
Right.
And he can go on and do other projects that he's probably been wanting to do. Or you could go and do it the other way where, there might be, differences that he wasn't liking, so he backed out from that way. However, the way that I think it is because he is comfortable enough to be like, okay, I know that you guys have been doing this with us a long time. You know where we want this story to go. I'm going to let you guys do it. I'm going to back away so I could do other things. And, I'm sure he'll still be around, just not hands-on like before.
And it's not even so much about Jemaine Clement's creation in terms of what he's brought to the show. He's really only written about 3 on his own, and then a 4th one he was partnered up with writing with 2 other writers. Mm-hmm. So there are already a whole bunch of people that are invested into it. Paul Simms, who was the creator, writer for one of my favorite sitcoms of all time, News Radio, Phil Hartman, amazing show. Check it out if you ever get a chance, but it might be a little dated now. Stephen Root is Jimmy James. Joe Rogan before Joe Rogan. Right now
it is dated.
It's dated. It's dated. It's the original Office.
It's very 90s.
Very 90s indeed. But the comedy and that delivery of dialogue between all the characters and the connective tissue between each one of the characters is what I love the most about News Radio. And they've brought that to, in my opinion, they have brought that to What We Do in the Shadows. So you're getting this cast of characters that are just doing an amazing job to where it's something I want to return to whenever it's back on. And I'll sit there and we'll just laugh. I started getting into making GIFs, high quality GIFs and little video cuts of tidbits from episodes and posting them on Reddit, Tumblr. Yeah, get the darn tootin' door. And there are quite a few of them that are taking off. People are actually really enjoying them online. And one of them we showed you in the past in our first episode, I believe, Jemaine Clement actually retweeted
Tucson,
one
Arizona.
he retweeted one of ours. But that's the thing, is it's not even us. We're just shining a light or putting a magnifying glass up to those moments of dialogue delivery that all these characters have. Yeah. And to me, that is what is making the show great. And when it comes down to now I know.
Yeah, that's exactly the way you said it.
There's this cast that's behind the stories they're writing them. But Paul Simms even came out and he said that this show is a simple show. It doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to be intricate. They're just a bunch of silly vampires living in Staten Island, and you end up getting this cast that work so well together to where the mundane adventures are what make it hilarious. And it's a sitcom. It's a situational comedy, except following vampires night to night in Staten Island.
Yes.
And just expanding this universe. Now, Jemaine Clement is a creator. He makes... and then he walks away. Look at Flight of the Conchords. Like, they didn't do 10 seasons. Look at Ricky Gervais, you know, how he makes a couple seasons and then that's it. He's off to do something else. That's the mentality that a lot of these geniuses in comedy, like Jemaine Clement, Taika Waititi, that they do. Like, they start they create it, and move on.
I understand, you know, I feel like because if you start dragging things out for so long, then you kind of lose that... that spark that it had from before if you just drag it out so long. And I will say this happened to me with Big Bang Theory. I liked the Big Bang Theory up to a point, and then after that I was just like, meh. Like, I did not care to watch it anymore.
Because it really didn't matter to you anymore. Yeah. And this one right now, yes, we just finished season 2. The episodes are light, too. 10 episodes per season so far. They just finished the second season. You can watch them next day on Hulu. So if you guys are interested in watching the show, you can absolutely catch up very quickly. And you won't regret it. I mean, when it comes down to just good comedy, if you're fans of like The Office or Parks and Recreation, this is definitely one that they can go to. So with Jemaine Clement leaving, I'm okay because I felt like, thank you for this gift as the creator. It's not like Dan Harmon, where it's like Dan Harmon's DNA needs to be sown through Community to make it work and make it do great. Make it be great. And unfortunately, when he's not there, it suffers, and bringing him back, it's disjointed trying to get back in there. But when it comes to What We Do in the Shadows, I never felt like it was Jemaine Clement. Jemaine Clement and Taika Waititi, I felt like they are in it when they're in it, and if you watch the show, you'll know. But their own movie, that's where we got them. That's where we got full them, or at least their energy into the show. But I feel like you're getting Paul Simms. You're getting that collaborative effort from Matt Berry, and just Matt Berry and the rest of the gang. You get lines like this.
Told you so.
You fucking didn't.
It's so funny how he delivers these lines, and he works so great with everybody else there. Nandor, Nadia, Laszlo, Colin Robinson, and Guillermo de la Cruz. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. But normally in a situation like this, I would be very worried about it when you say the creator is leaving the writer's room. Granted, he's still going to be getting them paychecks. He's still going to be collecting that money. It's still his show. He's just not the one that's actually, scribing it out. And it's okay, because actually one of the episodes he did, I wasn't a huge fan of. The Return, it ended up bringing back Nick Kroll's character. And for me, there are aspects of it I didn't really enjoy, and that was his baby. So I don't know, maybe it's become something different, and that's moving away from him, and a little bit of like, okay, you guys got this. Although he did come out and say he wrote them into a corner, and he's really excited to see them scramble to get out of it. Oh, gosh. How the season 2 does end up ending. But, yeah, it's exciting to see where they could go with it in this next season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because, there's a lot of things that happened, and it's like, where are they going to go here from here?
Yeah. Don't know, but watch the show or watch our reactions, and you can get our full breakdown of the entire season 2. We're thinking we might even do like an episode rewatch of the first season, because I haven't seen it since before watching season 2. So getting more of season 2, going back and doing a reaction to season 1 might actually be something fun. So let's take a look. We already did
Looking at the chat.
4:20 here in Denver. I got you. I hear what you're saying. And don't forget to ring the bell. Ring my bell. Laugh my ass off. I'm sorry. I love that photo of Jemaine so much. Right? No, I mean, dude, guys, it's out of this world. We got to meet the guy who Harvey Guillen. And he plays Guillermo. But we got to meet him at San Diego Comic-Con. It was completely by accident.
Yeah, because we went to go to the activation for What We Do in the Shadows, and he just so happened to be there. We're like, what?
Yeah, he walked up right when we were about to walk in.
Yeah.
And you can actually see that interaction with us and Harvey on our, I think it's our Saturday San Diego Comic-Con vlog. He's on the thumbnail.
Definitely not Saturday, because Saturday was Marvel, so.
We were stuck in Hall H. Check out that one, too. It's our highest viewed, second highest viewed vlog. The first one was our first trip to Collider Video, back before we were Schmodown competitors. But yeah, Jemaine Clement is everything when it comes to What We Do in the Shadows. Vladislav the Poker is such a damn good character. But yeah, we're hoping to see more of him, more of any of the other characters that they can offer us up in Season 3 eventually of What We Do in the Shadows. But when it comes, hi, I'm from Oxford, UK, Anthony Simmons. Hi, Anthony. Oxford, UK. Sounds lovely. You guys have a pretty damn good dictionary. That's Oxford, right?
Yeah.
Tenet is shifting.
Yes. So because, everything that's happening in the world, especially surrounding itself around the pandemic, that affects going out to places, especially going to movie theaters. And you want to have seats in the theater to watch your movie. So obviously they've pushed it back, but not that far back.
Right.
To July 31st.
Right. So like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's jumping. Mm-hmm. The way you said that, you got to have seats. You got no coffee. That's a whole nother thing. They pulled Come Fly With Me away because of the blackface in those episodes. Completely get it. But yeah, the characters they played were really genuinely great. But I completely get it. But yeah, the theaters are really what is the big conversation right now, because the theaters want to open, of course, but at the same time, they can't open because they don't have movies. Now, when it comes down to it, they also have to completely readjust everything that they have to accommodate the new restrictions for social distancing and keeping everybody safe. At the same time, they are hurting for money right now, especially...
oh my God, I'm so sorry. The way that you said...
Hurting for a squirtin'?
Yeah. Every time you say hurting, you're hurting. It just reminds me of 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
So you said you're hurting for a squirtin'?
Do you really talk like that? You friends with this guy? I just met him at work. I tried to introduce him to some nice girls, and he made a fool of himself. No, the theaters have to make that money back, and it's really detrimental to them not being open, obviously, during the most profitable season for them. And every video that we film for our movie reviews are done at AMC. Our one AMC here in Tucson, Arizona is very accommodating for us. We talk to them all the time. The managers are our friends, and they allow us to film in there and give our reviews for movies. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're worried about what could possibly happen to that theater, because it's supposed to be in a mall. It's in a dying mall, but it's a mall that's supposed to resurge.
The mall died.
It did,
and it's in there, and it's the theater is really the only thing that we go to that mall for, and Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble's all the way on the other side, and you can go from the outside to Barnes & Noble, so it's not like you can walk there. There is no food court anymore, so it's dead.
It's dead, but you guys have seen it happen, right? You've seen those malls go down. You've seen what happens when they die, and then they get bulldozed, and then they put up outlet malls and shopping centers and apartments above the shopping centers. Like, it happens everywhere. Burbank is a perfect example of that whole growth when it comes to shopping centers and plazas. But when it comes to our mall, our AMC, they need a movie. They need a movie to bring them back in, and it's Christopher Nolan and Tenet that are really trying to be the ones to kind of usher in the movie-going experience back into the theaters. But I feel like, again, it's coming so rapidly, and they're just not prepared for it, that they did end up having to push back Tenet by 2 weeks. However, in its place, they have decided that they are going to bring in one of our favorites, which is Inception, coming back to theaters once again. I think it's the
17th.
17th? Or what's coming back to 17th? It's a 10-year anniversary, I believe.
Yes, it's a 10-year anniversary because it came out in 2010.
Whew. I remember my first Inception watch. I remember my second Inception watch. I remember so many times.
We like it so much we have 2 copies.
Yeah, my copy, her copy,
I bought a copy, he bought a copy.
Yeah, so when it came down to Inception, we are huge fans. The music, the movie, everything, they're bringing it back to theaters. But now here's the question. Here's where you end up having to decide, when is it time? Is it too early? Arizona is going through a huge spike right now when it comes to COVID cases. We have been adopting social distancing, mask usage, sanitizer, and we don't go out. We only order out, we pick up, we bring it in, or we have them bring it here, and then we do a quick handoff. But we do not go and live our life like it's normal anymore, because it's not. And here, everybody is starting to fill up the hospital rooms in Tucson, Arizona. But we know that there are things or methods in place to allow us to go and partake in certain aspects of entertainment and be safe, we hope. And one of them is the movie theater. We look at other people, we say, why would you go out to a bar and drink? Just get the beers, go home, like do that, drink over Zoom. But for us, it's like, well, why other people to us, why can't you just watch Inception at home? You have it right here. That's the thing, is now we want to put our support behind trying to help our theater, AMC, try and get them back on their feet by going and watching Inception in theaters, because it's an amazing movie.
It is an amazing movie, and it's an amazing movie to watch in theaters. And you're right, like, we do want to help AMC, because AMC theaters, this is the only AMC theater near us.
In our city.
In our city. Like, the next AMC theater that we could go to is literally 2 hours away. So we do like AMC theaters because, one, we know people who work there, and two, we just
I worked there for like 8 years. I worked at that location because
so we want to make sure that
it's a good place.
They're good, that they're.
I think it's a lost cause. I hate to say it. I love them all to death, but I feel horrible for all of them because I think that place is done.
Yeah, and Harkins will take out.
Harkins is dominating here in the Southwest, or at least in Tucson. And Century is trying to make a comeback too. But when it comes down to easing everybody back into it, I feel like, yes, Inception is a very logical choice, because to me, Inception is my favorite Christopher Nolan film. And Inception is very similar to the aesthetics of Tenet. Now, I think it'd be cool if they were connected somehow, but they don't have to be. Mm-hmm. But I think it would be badass if there was a little bit of connective tissue in the same universe. Mm-hmm. But again, we don't need it. So when it comes to easing us back in and getting us in the mindset, I think it would get you excited to watch Inception, to come back and watch Tenet. And if you're okay and you feel fine wearing the mask and watching the movie and enjoying yourself for that 2 hours watching Inception, that you would be a little more inclined to do it again in 2 weeks when Tenet comes out.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just testing the waters a little bit.
100%.
But we shall see when July comes around for that too. I mean, even us, we might be like, well, maybe we shouldn't go out.
Bullshit, I'm going to be there. Tenet with bells on. I'm going to be like, Nolan! I'm going to have all the Nolan crap on. No, because I'm smart. And if something bad happens, yeah, we have to adjust. And they have to adjust.
Right.
Wonder Woman also ended up getting pushed back.
Yeah, she got pushed back to October.
Right.
Normally was going to be in August.
Yeah, I believe, yes, it was August.
So she got pushed back to October, which I'm totally fine with. We have, Bill and Ted that's supposed to come out on August 21st, my birthday. But if it gets pushed back, I'm totally okay with that too.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going anywhere. Like, we're staying at home and stuff. So it's like, when it's time and ready to go back to the theater.
Right.
We'll be there.
Yeah, and we have the social distancing down, the protocols down, the glove. Or we don't wear gloves, but we do the sanitizer, and we got the mask, different varieties, an assortment of masks. Thanks to So Geek Girl, who gave us our mask, 4 of our masks. The Wuzzles, you guys remember the Wuzzles from the Disney Channel way back in the early 90s? Yeah, she sent Wuzzle masks. Amazing. I can't believe she even had material to create Wuzzle masks. Yeah. But Bumbleian, when it comes down to getting back out there and watching Tenet, I mean, there's really only one way you can watch Tenet, and that's why I love that Nolan really is kind of hanging on to the aspect that it's got to be watched in theaters. And he's kind of, one of the last ones. Well, he's one of a few that always champion for getting your butts to the theaters to watch it, not taking it away, without being as kind of like, a dick as Steven Spielberg, who's just like, no, the movie's got to go to the theaters. They can't be in Oscars. Where Nolan's just like, no, it's the art. It's how you see it. Like, it's a scale. That's what you're going to see. The details, the immersion. That's what makes it great, man. Like, me and Vanessa were talking about the music of Inception, and we were talking about Tenet, and Ludwig Göransson is doing the music for Tenet.
Yeah, we were saying, like, I was saying that I am more excited about listening to the music of Tenet than I am actually watching the movie Tenet, because I think that Nolan has for me personally, Nolan has a very good track record when it comes to the composers he picks. Granted, it's majority Hans Zimmer, but that he picks, and the music actually being really, really good, in my opinion.
It's good, and however, I countered with, yeah, but do you remember that moment in Inception when time first starts and Cobb wakes up in the airplane in the chair and just kind of looks around, and he looks over at all the different characters, and then they get off the plane and they're walking through the airport, and time is just building up, and they just look at each other. You see little nods from each one as they all go their own separate ways, and the mission is complete. Robert Fisher is going to end up going and breaking up the company, and like, it's an amazing moment, and it ends with that top spinning, and then like, it's that experience in the theater of just getting bombasted with, is that a word? But the bombastic feel, you're getting hit with the music and the imagery all at the same time. Unless I have like a home theater set up here at home with that kind of audio, which we don't, you're not going to get that kind of same feel. It's like, right, that was a good movie, I enjoyed it, but you don't really feel the nuances, you don't really feel the deep-seated meaning or moments or the preciousness inside the music in the certain moments. And that's what I did growing up, was connect musical cues to certain aspects of Star Wars and Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. And it's funny because Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie, and that's probably the one that I did that the most with the connecting of the music with the imagery. Mm-hmm. So for me, Inception's another one where I ended up doing that, where we listen to the music and we're quoting the movie and we know exactly what part is on the screen.
That and the fact that, we use the music. Okay, so
it's
back
coming
in the
full
day,
circle.
It is. Back in the day, we would play Call of Duty Zombies, and this is back around the time when the movie came out, and we had the soundtrack and everything. And we would literally, like, on our days off, we would play the game, but we would play the soundtrack as we're playing the game. And there was a moment when we were playing, and the song, the Mombasa song comes on. And he's the only one left. We are on like wave 6 or 7. He's got these hellhounds after him, and he's running everywhere. And the song is playing, and it's just so perfect. And we're just sitting there because some other 2 people were playing. We were all dead except for Robert. And Robert is going around and he's almost about to die. And then he gets the hellhound and we all come back.
Yeah, I had no ammunition, by the way. Running in a circle. We opened up all the doors so you can make a perfect circle. All the hellhounds are chasing us. I had no ammunition. I was only doing melee. And eventually I would turn around, smack and run. And eventually killed one hellhound. And we all got brought back to life, all thanks to that music by Hans Zimmer for Inception. But Ludwig Göransson, if you guys have not watched it yet, go and watch the newest episode of what is it, the behind the scenes Mandalorian, what do they call that, studio, what the hell is it called, that show on Disney Plus where they go, it's a round table with the creators, studio gallery. You see where I'm going? I was almost there. I was outside looking through the window, let me in. But when it comes to gallery, I almost said it again, studio, go watch the newest episode. It's called Score, and it is all about the music of The Mandalorian. Ludwig Göransson, who did the music for Community as well, partner and friend to Donald Glover, is doing the music for Tenet. And just going and watching that episode of Gallery and seeing Ludwig Göransson and what he does, and then knowing he's doing the music for Tenet, you better believe I'm going to be at the theater to watch it on the big screen, to hear that music partnered up with Christopher Nolan's imagery, to get what will hopefully be another epic film that I hold dear to my heart. You'll see a poster eventually on the wall somewhere if it is indeed that good, or at least it speaks to me. It doesn't even have to be good. It has to be good to me. It has to speak to me for me to absolutely fall in love with it. Because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It matters how I feel about the movie and the connection I have with it. And then I try and convince Vanessa, but it was good. Hey, we enjoyed the movie, Vanessa. But yeah, we can read the comment section now.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and see what you guys have been saying about this, and we'll try to be quiet from now. So you have... let's see what else we got here.
Not surprised. Honestly, Nolan seriously pushing for this to come out so fast is kind of making me like him less. I get it. While talented, he's not the CDC. I think Nolan needs to sit down and wait this out. See, and I think he's really just trying to get people to be like, yo, don't give up on theaters. It ain't the easy answer to go and just watch it at home.
Right, because, there was that one thing where Universal and and AMC and all of them were like, no, I'm not gonna play, like, we're gonna pull out your thing because they did so well with Trolls. Right. So I get it that he's like, no, we want to go to the theater, we want it to be good, or that's the experience you want. And I get it. I like going to the theater because there's no distractions for me there, so I can be fully immersed in the movie. Whereas I will admit, when I watch movies at home, I am distracted. Even if I'm not even on my phone, I'm still distracted. So it's like there's a lot of variables when it comes to that. So that's why I enjoy watching the movies at a theater.
And it makes sense for him because, I mean, he's got a lot riding when it comes to IMAX. I'm sure he's probably a shareholder at a high level when it comes to
Very
IMAX.
True, possible.
So more than likely, it's beneficial for him to get those movies into theaters. And if all the AMC starts shutting down, because guess what AMC uses is IMAX, you're going to end up losing a lot of market if AMC does go down when it comes to IMAX, because there's a lot of different video systems out there for different theaters, especially at Centuries, where they got the XD, which is an IMAX, but everybody's trying, and then you got Dolby too. But Dolby's also at AMC. You got Dolby Prime showing up at a lot of different AMCs. But that's more so the Rumble Pack chair, where you're just kind of feeling the experience. I feel the cars going around the track.
I feel the vibrations.
Yeah. So hello from Wolverhampton, UK. I love that name. Is so badass, and it's so UK. Rich Jones. Love that. How about the drive-ins?
How about drive-ins?
Real drive-ins.
Drive-ins are great. Drive-ins are awesome. However, we don't have any drive-ins where we are anymore.
We have a fake drive-in.
We have ones that they just make shift drive-ins because of everything that's happening. So they make shift ones, but like legit drive-ins, we don't have one anymore. Yeah. Here
we had a badass 4-screen Deanza drive-in.
Yeah.
It was amazing. You cue up your audio to the frequency. Watch it. Big screen. It was the thing to do in Tucson. And I saw so many movies. If you watch our Better Late Than Never series, which we actually haven't done for a couple weeks, nobody noticed because nobody said anything. So we'll keep sitting out for a little while we catch our breath.
Yeah.
But Better Late Than Never, every once in a while, we'll shout out, at the drive-in. And it's because it's a movie that I ended up watching at the drive-in. Flintstones, Sandlot, Judge Dredd, Waterworld, Jurassic Park. So many different films that I witnessed at the drive-in. Scream, first screen. I didn't watch it the first time there. At least my dad thinks it was my first time. But I actually watched it at Century Park. But when it comes down to the drive-in, absolutely, I would love to go back to drive-ins if they made real ones. I don't like the little jerry-rigged ones. We do jerry-rigged screens, but we do it for like location screenings when it's like we're going to go watch Tombstone at Old Tucson or The Three Amigos at Old Tucson. Or they'll set up, the inflatable screen at different areas. But when it comes to like the drive-in one and it's just kind of sloppily put together, I'm not a fan of it. But
So someone will tell us in person their Christopher Nolan encounters, and you'll get a better sense of why I think he's kind of got a bit full of himself with all of his success.
I believe it. I mean, the dude's work is very pretentious.
Yeah.
When you have pretentious seeping out of your lens into your films, like, you're probably a very pretentious person. I mean, look who he cast to play himself in all these movies. I mean, Leo DiCaprio is basically Chris Nolan. You've got, let's see, I do feel that Tenet should be seen in theaters. So we have
top 5 Nolan movies.
Not the Dark Knight trilogy.
But not including the Dark Knight trilogy. All right, well.
Yeah.
I would go Inception is probably first, and then Prestige, and then...
I'd say...
Insomniac?
No, for me it would be Memento. And then, what is it? Following? I think it's just called Following. Follower?
Memento, and then...
I've seen it once, the one where he's following the guy. Like, it's creepy. It's weird. It was before Memento. And then, yeah, I don't know. In Interstellar, I love the music for Interstellar, and the visuals are cool. I don't like the story.
Too, but...
I can't rewatch. I can't really go back to it.
Interstellar is fine. I don't really care for Dunkirk either.
Yeah, Dunkirk, again, the visuals were there. The music didn't really do it for me. I do like that he was it's the first time, because I'm a big fan of Nolan jumping around in time.
Yeah.
But when it came to that movie, I was like, well, it doesn't really work.
I feel like
here.
for a movie like this, it doesn't really fit.
Yeah, it didn't. But for me, it definitely 100% it's Inception, then Prestige, and then Memento is my third one for the top 3. Let's see. I do feel that Tenet should be seen in theaters, but I think they need to give this a bit of time to pass over. I get it. I don't think Nolan would want the headline to be COVID cases arise on the Tenet release. He won't have to, because it's going to be COVID cases arise because cities opened up and nobody's following social distancing.
And then they'll blame
then they'll blame the movies. Okay. They always blame the movies. Time still makes me feel so many emotions.
I'm on a glass case of emotions.
Look at that. I give you my water, but we're all out.
I had to dig deep with that one.
Be sure to choke on your aspirations.
Oh, God.
Time was from Inception. Corfield from Interstellar was perfect. Subdued. Nah, man, it's all about... No time for caution.
That is my favorite piece.
Wasn't even on like the first soundtrack. Like you had to get like the deluxe.
Well,
to get
Mountains
No Time for
was the one that was like a variation of it.
Mountains was great until No Time for
Caution.
Amazing. So that's what made me fall in love with the movie was No Time for Caution. But then I realized I fell in love with No Time for Caution, not the movie as a whole.
Right.
Let's see. We've got
we've got best movie themes of all time. Go. Well, one of those I would have to say is the Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah, Jurassic Park, Return of the Jedi. I'll throw out my favorite Hans Zimmer because I listened to it crazy over. Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow is so good. Hans Zimmer's music, so good. They used it for Dewey's music in Scream. I think we even went on this tangent last time. But yeah, so Back to the Future, Alan Silvestri. Back to the Future... Just the music itself is a tale. It's a story that I'm absolutely in love with every time I hear it. And it fits so well in what Back to the Future is in all 3 parts. And even like the third movie, I had to analyze and discuss the third movie with myself to understand why I loved what he did with the third movie. But when it comes to, score, if I had to pick one, it would be Back to the Future from Alan Silvestri. But damn, you got Indiana Jones out there as well. So, yeah, Williams.
My favorite, theme that I think from John Williams is more because this is kind of, my thing, is Leaving Hogwarts. I love that song so much. As well as Hedwig's theme. But Leaving Hogwarts is probably my favorite of that whole era. And then, of course, Mischief Managed from the third movie, which was amazing, too.
Yeah, man. E.T., Rich Jones saying Escape Chase, saying goodbye. Going through the sky. I, sit there and just sing it when those parts play when I'm watching at home because it is so good. Dong comes at you, hits you again right there. E.T., so well done, especially that whole entire ending. Inception's going to be the main event when theaters reopen. Yeah, get it. Brian Nussbaum. It has a great theme. Absolutely. Broken Arrow. Yes, I rewatched Scream 2 for the first time in years, and I called to Eric at the office saying, "Is that the Broken Arrow theme?" And he said, "Late to the Party was just talking about that." Yeah, I hate it. Marco Beltrami does amazing work, and
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it belongs in Broken Arrow. It does not belong in Scream 2.
Boom, 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 boom.
And Marco Beltrami's music for Scream, such amazingly well done music. But guys,
I have a question for you then. What is your favorite non famous score that everybody loves that you think that you love that you probably don't think that other people enjoy?
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow?
Because y'all didn't notice. Y'all didn't pay attention. Not even Hans Zimmer realizes what he has with Broken Arrow. But again, it's how it pairs up with Hale and, of course, Travolta. Damn it, what's Travolta's freaking character name? Hale and... Damn it, I can't remember. I'm going to have to go look that one up. But, yeah, it's Deacon. Come on, Deacon. Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I got it. I just had to think about it. But when it comes
fuck
to...
them if they can't take a joke.
When it comes to... Yeah, fuck them if they can't take a joke. When it comes to the characters, the music, Samantha Mathis, it's just so good. I really enjoy it. And I listen to that over and over and over and over.
Yeah, John Williams is the king of themes for movies. A lot of the things, when you think of movie themes, iconic movie themes, John Williams is usually the one that comes up. Right. Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones. What else you got in there? E.T.
Hook. Hook is a very underrated. Absolutely,
dude. Encounters of the...
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's freaking When You Wish Upon a Star. Guys, fall down that rabbit hole. Go find out about how they wanted to utilize When You Wish Upon a Star for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but Disney said no. So basically, John Williams ripped off for the most part. It's in there. It's in there. If you watch the credits of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, they flat out jump into When You Wish Upon a Star.
They sure do.
But that's Williams' version of When You Wish Upon a Star is the 5 tones. It's so good.
I do like the Imitation Game score too. I think that Alexander Desplat did a great job with that too.
Right.
I'm looking forward to even with scores. I'm looking forward to Alexander Desplat's score for Black Widow. So.
I was looking for Alexander Desplat's score for Rogue One, but it didn't happen. So that's what happens when you shift out directors and they don't have enough time to make music.
I actually like the music, the score for Up. No, not Up. Inside Out. Sorry, yeah, Inside Out. I think that Michael Giacchino did a good job with Inside Out, and it's very calming, the music that he made for that movie. So
he did a good job with Rogue One too. It's just that I felt like had he had more time, he would have come up with something truly magical. So love the Home Alone theme. Absolutely, that's definitely a great one. Lex Turner, Clint Mansell, Requiem for a Dream. Absolutely, Clint Mansell across the board. I love Moon, the title score at the very end of Moon. And then Arrival.
One that I absolutely love is John Murphy.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% John Murphy.
Yeah, his stuff, what he did with Sunshine.
28 Days Later.
28 Days Later.
Yeah.
They were really good.
Watch our 28 Days Later, Better Late Than Never. We go all in on John Murphy's music there. And yes, that is a Black Widow. I don't know where you're seeing the Black Widow hat.
No, this is not his Black Widow hat.
Oh, yeah, the Black Widow hat is...
It's over there. We have him.
Yeah, we got a couple of them. My head is way too big for that Black Widow hat that they gave us in Hall H. Craig Armstrong, Plunkett, and McLean. I thought you were going to say Curtis Armstrong, Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. Pixar themes. I love our Monsters, Inc. and Incredible, Arrival, Charlie Sheen movie. I know, right? W-Bone B. Absolutely. I love that the legs all turn inside out and they go running. I love Arrival with Charlie Sheen. It's a fun movie. Incredible Hulk score, criminally underrated, and John Murphy, Sunshine, high five. Yep, John Murphy is the shit, and I love how they brought back those scores, or at least those tracks, to Kick-Ass. Well done in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
And even Henry Jackman, merging Henry Jackman and John Murphy together for that very first Kick-Ass score. You want to see the ruins? You want to see the ruins, my friend? Hell yeah! Pulling out a little Arrival. But yeah, guys, we went a little over our 1 hour, but We are happy to be back. We appreciate all you guys that ended up showing up here for late in the week.
Yes,
glad we got to get through all the topics. And talk a little bit about musical scores, because that is something that definitely means a lot.
We could stay here for hours talking about musical scores if we want to. I mean,
we do like to keep it short and sweet.
Right.
I think the Real Rejects have a live stream coming up later. Wendy and Dustin, we were watching their live stream not too long, right before us, actually. So, yeah, these live streams, we're happy to do them. We have a good time. Yeah, man, let's talk that Superman score. The bump amazing. I get hyped every single time I hear that. And there was even an episode of Seinfeld where it was a clip show, and they went back and showed all the different moments, and they used the whole score, that whole song. But there's a moment too where in that episode where Jerry does like a bam bam bam, and it's like syncs up perfectly to the music. I'll never forget it because that's my favorite part of that song. So hearing that, I get so hyped up for John Williams. James Horner, dude. James Horner is probably one of the few composers that can just get me to swell and tear up and probably cry just by hearing his music. Willow, Land Before Time, I can't. Like,
Glory?
Glory! Holy crap, thank you, Vanessa. That is such an amazing score. And again...
My James Horner comes from Titanic.
Merging them together, the imagery, the story, the characters.
And then, of course, you have Howard Shore with Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I think that a lot of those songs, too, are just very deep and great. And you can just listen to them.
It's fantasy incarnate.
Yeah.
How do you make fantasy music? Oh, there it is. Howard Shore also did the score for Mrs. Doubtfire. There's a little knowledge for you. Crazy shit, right? And it's
Jerry Goldsmith.
Yeah, all the different composers.
Right.
But yeah, big fan of all the well done, put together music out there. It's what I listen to recreationally.
I will say that one of my all time favorite though too is Elmer Bernstein's for Ghostbusters.
Elmer Bernstein's Ghostbusters. Elmer Bernstein, just in general, amazing tracks. Ennio Morricone, especially the track that he uses in The Burbs, amazingly well put together. So, Where'd the Time Go? Great stream, guys. James Horner, Braveheart, maybe the minority, but I love the Home Alone 2 score more than the first one. The Home Alone 2 score is amped up, just like the movie. It's a evolved evolution to the next level of the first movie. Same with the music. It jumps up a tick, and I love both the movies, too, for that. Even though 2 is basically just a retread of the first one, but, everything that happened before will happen again. So say we all. Didn't make it to Tucson. U of A graduation was canceled. My son got his degree in the mail today. Congratulations, U of A grad. So happy for your son. That's awesome. First Man of Steel teaser had me with the Howard Shore score on the teaser. Elmer's amazing. Love his scores. So, guys, that is it for us. We did go over about 7 minutes. Not too bad. Oh, Gallegos for a great stream. Thank you. $5, man.
We really appreciate it.
Always appreciate it. And all that money does go back right into the channel.
The channel to make it better, to make it streamlined, to make it more entertaining.
Absolutely, make it a little bit better. Danny Elfman, kick me for not saying Danny Elfman. The Back to School suite. Back to School by Danny Elfman. The Roddy Dangerfield movie with Robert Downey Jr. there as Derek Lutz with the blue hair. That score is incredible by Danny Elfman. So absolutely, Weird Science, Oingo Boingo, all the stuff that Elfman has done. That opening scene of Beetlejuice.
He has iconic stuff too.
You're just going to keep dropping scores and artists, and we're just going to keep going. You're already getting us 10 minutes over.
All right, it's time to go. You can do the thing at our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust.
All the social networking gin joints, you know where they are. Kick into the party, fuel the party, keep the party going on our Patreon or the super chats or the Streamlabs donations, guys. We appreciate it. If you never hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. Make it official. We'll go in this together. We say I do to you. But thank you guys so much. And as always...
Now it's time to say goodbye.
And this party is over. Party on, dudes!